before we start the video, I'd like to ask you guys to please consider subscribing to the channel and liking the video, as it helps the channel grow. So, let's get into it. Alright, so Week 13 of the NFL season is coming to a close, and for Chicago Bears, they take yet another crushing loss to their hated rival in the Green Bay Packers. As always, in this video, I'm just going to give you all a quick recap on what I saw during the game, give grades for offense, defense, special teams, and coaching. So without further ado, let's get into it. What's up, guys? KT here, back at it with another video. Today, we're doing the Bears. The Bears fall once again at home to the Green Bay Packers 28-19 in a game that they were winning, but ultimately they couldn't come out with a win. So I'm not going to hold y'all for too much longer. Let's get straight into the elephant in the room. He's back. How did Justin Fields do on Sunday? I think he did pretty well. He was 20 of 25 for 254 yards passing, averaged 12 yards per throw, had 2 interceptions, no touchdowns. He did not take a sack at all in that game. He had a 75.7 quarterback rating. I'll say this about Justin Fields. Justin Fields has to do everything for this team for them to even have a chance to win. Those 2 interceptions weren't his fault. The second one they shouldn't even been in that situation. Even the first one, Equanimous St. Brown came out of his route late. That was supposed to be a timing route, but unfortunately Jair Alexander intercepted it, and the last one came in garbage time when they were already down. Justin Fields, he was accurate with his arm today. It felt like he was comfortable in the pocket. He had clean pocket all day, and he was shredding the Green Bay defense, clearly with 254 yards passing. But they took the ball out of his hands in the second half, and that kind of cost the Bears the game. I felt like Justin Fields looked really good, especially with his arm. He didn't do too much with his legs yesterday, but he still was very effective with his arm. And that's what you want to see. You want to see him develop more as a pocket passer and see if he can, traditionally pass, which we all know he can. But I felt like he played a pretty good game. Aside from those 2 interceptions, he was accurate with the ball, quick decisions. Good game overall for Justin Fields. Rushing, again, Justin Fields 6 attempts, 71 yards. He averaged 11 yards per scramble or per carry. He also had a 55-yard touchdown run, which was his only rushing touchdown. He's doing something that no other quarterback can do other than Lamar Jackson, which is pass for over 200 yards and run for a touchdown. If he would have got another passing touchdown, that probably would have broke yet another record. But this dude is breaking records. He's a baller, and he's showing why he's our future franchise quarterback is because he can do it on the ground and he can do it through the air. He wasn't as active with his legs this time around, especially with the design QB runs. Kind of expected because we didn't even know he was going to play this game because he had separated his shoulder in the last game. But, I kind of do agree with the fact that, you don't want to get him hurt, so keep the QB runs to a minimum. He still got that touchdown at the end of the day. David Montgomery, he had a good game. 14 attempts. He only had 14 attempts, but he had 61 yards. He averaged 4.5 yards per carry and had a touchdown. Dave Montgomery, as always, a strong back. Hopefully they can pay him and keep him here in Chicago. But rushing the ball, it was pretty good rushing the ball. I felt like they still need to give a heavy dose to David Montgomery in spots. I felt like they relied too much on the short run game, especially in 3rd and long situations. But overall, rushing the ball was cool, and they were good. Receiving, Equanimous St. Brown was our leading receiver. Despite his horrible route towards the end of the game, he still did have a pretty good game. 4 targets, 3 receptions, 85 yards with that big 56-yard catch. Cole Kmet got involved. He's starting to become Fields' safety blanket, especially when he's under pressure. 7 targets, 6 receptions, 72 yards, and his longest catch of the day was for 24 yards on a bailout throw by Justin Fields. N'Keal Harry made 1 appearance in this game. He had 1 target, 1 reception for a big catch for 49 yards, and a catch that nobody even saw that coming. It was a miracle catch, so he's showing his talents as well. Claypool got involved a little bit, 6 targets, 5 receptions, 28 yards. He couldn't play as much as he would like because he got rolled up on, and it kind of banged up his knee a little bit, so he didn't play as much as, he didn't make as much of a factor as we would like. He did come back, but I felt like they kind of took the ball out of his hands as well. So receiving, towards the end of the game, I felt like it was more on coaching that they couldn't move the ball, they couldn't score points, and they didn't get the receivers moving vertically up the field. But overall, I felt like receiving was solid. Good all-around performance for multiple guys. Hopefully they can continue to build on that and get more weapons for Justin Fields, especially in the absence of Darnell Mooney. I felt like they played well. Defense, fan favorite Jack Sanborn, 10 total tackles, 8 solo tackles, 1 tackle for loss. Jack Sanborn is becoming a future building block to this defense. He's really filled in well after the departure of Roquan Smith. He's our leading tackler, and he has been the leading tackler since week 9 from when he took the job. I think he's been doing well. I really do like the undrafted free agent out of Wisconsin. Build around him, build this linebacking core around him, get at least one more athletic linebacker just like him, and you'll be okay. Other than that, we didn't have too many starters on defense. No Jaquan Brisker, no Kyler Gordon, no Eddie Jackson. So that kind of, put the Bears secondary in a paradox situation. But I felt like the backups came in and did well. Jalen Jones, Josh Blackwell, Elijah Hicks, they all played pretty well, especially in that first half. It just felt like the defense was on the field way too much in the second half to where they gave up 28 points. But they held the Packers to 10 points in the first half without even recording a sack. That's still a big problem, in my opinion. They still do need to fix that defensive line, and the linebacking core has been playing better. So, I feel that the defense played well enough to win this game, but they didn't get no help from play calling on the offensive side of the ball. Felt like Alan Williams did a good job with his defensive play calling. So yeah, defense played pretty well. Special teams, I'll keep Cairo Santos out of this situation because he's really getting on my nerves with these missed extra points. He left 4 points on the board, which really cost the Bears going into late into the game. They might be looking for a new kicker soon. We'll keep an eye on that situation. Velus Jones had a breakout game, especially on special teams. He had 4 kick returns for 114 yards. He averaged 28 yards per return. He showed why he's one of the best kick returners coming out of college. He seems to be growing more each day with his confidence. Hopefully they can get him more involved in the offense. But I felt like he kind of carried special teams today. So yeah, special teams didn't really make as much of an impact as I would like, especially with Cairo Santos missing extra points. So there's that. So I'm just going to get straight into the grades. I'm going to give the offense a B. I felt like the offense as a whole, as the players, they played hard enough. They wanted to win this game. Justin Fields was composed. David Montgomery, was running hard against this Packers defense. Guys were getting open, but it just felt like they took the ball out of Justin Fields' hands, and they kind of got conservative. And, they stopped scoring points in the red zone. I have to dock them for that as well. But overall, I thought they played well enough to win at least, or at least put more points on the board than they did. Defense, I'm going to give them a B+. I felt like they played well enough to win this game. They definitely played above expectations, especially with guys out, especially in that first half. They were covering well on those guys, Christian Watson and Randall Cobb. But towards the end of the game, they started staying on the field too much, and they kind of broke them down with the run because they were on the field too much. So I felt like they played well enough to win this game. I felt like they were let down by coaching. Special teams, they're going to get an F just because of Cairo Santos. You know what? Scrap that. I'm going to give them a D+. Because of Velus Jones' 114 yards on kick return, but Cairo Santos keeps leaving points on the board, especially with these extra points. They got to fix that. Coaching, I'll say this. Alan Williams called his best game of the season. Luke Getsy probably called his worst game of the season. So I'm going to give them a F. I'm going to give them an F. I felt like Luke Getsy, especially late in the game, he got really conservative. He took the ball out of your best player's hands, and you just went all the way conservative, running on 3rd and long, not throwing the ball upfield, running these little wide receiver screens. I don't know what they were doing in the second half. That was probably the worst play calling we've seen so far. But that was a pathetic performance by offensive coaching. So, the Bears take another loss. They fall to 3-10 on the season. They still have the number 2 overall pick. I don't know what you do coming out of the bye, since there will be no video this week, and they will be playing the Eagles after the bye. So I don't know if you start sitting guys. I would, but we'll see what happens. But I'm going to get up out of here. Thank you guys for watching. If you enjoyed the video, please consider subscribing to the channel and liking the videos. It helps the channel grow. Hit that notification bell so you get notified every time I drop one of these Bears videos. Follow me on social media. I'm out. Bear down. Peace.